Hello, I'm Randy McClure. Welcome to the latest supply chain tech brief.
You know that feeling, right? You look at a stack of freight invoices and you can just feel a headache coming on. Well, you're definitely not alone. Today, we're going to dive into the tech revolution that's finally fixing the ridiculously complex and costly world of freight billing. I mean, this is the million-dollar question, isn't it? It feels like it should be so simple. You ship something, you pay the bill. But in reality, it's this tangled web of different systems, surprise fees, and manual checks. It's a massive frustration for both the logistics folks and the finance department. And let's be super clear, that complexity you're feeling, it's not in your head. It is absolutely real. It's a systemic problem that's been built up over decades of using outdated processes. We're talking about everything from actual paper invoices that someone has to type in by hand to just the sheer brain power it takes to figure out what you're even being charged for. Okay, so before we can talk about the cure, we have to really diagnose the disease. Let's break down the most common pitfalls, the things that make freight invoicing such a monster headache for so many companies. Does any of this look familiar? Yeah, I thought so. You've got surprise fees that just pop up and wreck your budget. You've got incredibly high labor costs just for people to chase down errors. You have practically zero visibility into where your money is actually going. All of this just ties up your cash flow and drags you into these long, painful dispute processes with carriers. And listen, these aren't just little annoyances. Every single one is a direct hit to your bottom line. And this quote from Randy McClure it absolutely nails a huge part of the problem. It's not always about simple mistakes. A lot of the time, the sheer complexity of the contracts is what causes the errors. When your agreements are dozens of pages long, full of confusing legal jargon, well, it becomes a minefield of hidden costs just waiting to trip you up. All right, enough doom and gloom. Let's talk solutions. The good news is you don't have to immediately jump to some crazy high-tech overhaul. There are a couple of foundational strategies you can put in place right now that can bring some immediate relief. So just look at the difference here. The absolute simplest, most effective first step is to just attack the complexity right at the source, the contract itself. Move away from that massive, confusing document that's frankly more of a liability than an asset. Get it down to a few pages with clear, simple, transparent terms. This one change can have a massive impact on cutting down errors and those surprise charges we all hate. The second big strategy is to just bring in the experts. You can actually outsource all the heavy lifting, the invoice verification, the reconciliation, paying the carriers to a third-party provider. This can take a huge administrative weight off your team's shoulders. But, and this is a big but, there is a crucial trade-off. While you get that sweet relief from the administrative burden, you often give up direct control of your own detailed shipping data. And that can really hurt your ability to do your own analysis and find ways to improve your operations. So you're basically trading convenience for visibility. It's something you really have to think about. Okay, so for those of you who are ready to move beyond those foundational fixes, technology is the next logical step. And this is where things get really interesting. This is the stuff that is truly revolutionizing how modern businesses handle their freight payments. You can think of it as a pretty simple three-step journey. First, you integrate your systems so they can talk to each other. Then, you automate the processes running on those systems. And finally, you can secure the whole thing. Let's take a quick look at each one. So step one is all about connection, using tools like APIs, which you can kind of think of as digital messengers that let different software programs talk to each other. Your systems can connect directly to your carrier systems. This creates this beautiful, seamless flow of data. Invoices get generated automatically. It's great. The only catch? It can require a pretty significant upfront investment in IT time and resources to get it all set up. Now, once your systems are all connected, you can bring in the brains, artificial intelligence. AI can act like your tireless digital assistant, working 24/7. It automatically pulls data from invoices, checks it against your contracts, and flags any errors before a payment ever goes out the door. This frees up your actual human team to focus on big picture strategy instead of mind-numbing data entry. And the final frontier really is blockchain. The simplest way to think about it is like a shared digital ledger that cannot be changed. It creates a permanent, transparent record of every single transaction. You can even automate payments with things called smart contracts. Now, the major hurdle here isn't really the technology itself. It's getting everybody every single partner in your supply chain to agree to use it. All right, so we've talked about simplifying contracts and bringing in cool new tech. But what if we could just leapfrog that entire process? Let's talk about the most forward thinking idea of all, a future where there are no invoices at all. No, seriously, just pause and think about that for a second. What if that entire painful, time consuming cycle of getting an invoice, auditing it, disputing it, and paying it just vanished? It might sound like science fiction, but the technology and the methods to do it are actually here today. The whole concept is called self-billing, and it's exactly what it sounds like. Instead of waiting for your carrier to send you a bill, you use your own super accurate, verified internal data from your shipping manifests, your IoT sensors, your proof of delivery to calculate what you owe them. And then you just pay them. You are completely flipping the script. And this is the beautiful part. It is a true win-win scenario. The shipper gets to pay based on data they absolutely know is correct. And the carrier, they get paid way faster and more accurately, which they love. Of course, they can still submit an adjustment if they think there is a discrepancy. But the real magic here is that it strongly motivates both sides to make sure their data is perfect from the very beginning. And this quote just puts a perfect bow on it. You are completely getting rid of a process that is expensive, time consuming, and let's be honest, often redundant for both the shipper and the carrier. This isn't just an improvement, it's a total transformation of that whole financial relationship. So whether you're looking at simplifying your contracts, bringing in some AI, or maybe even aiming for that no invoice future, the tools to fix freight billing aren't some far off dream anymore. They're here, right now. The only real question left is, what's the right path for your business to take?
Hello, this is Raina McClure from SC Tech Insights. Thank you for listening. For more on this topic, click the article link below or go to www.sctechinsights.com for the latest insights on supply chain technology. Thank you and see you next time.